I define it as the environment within which you interact with all of your staff. So it's outside of the actual principles involved in the business itself for promoting your service or your product, but it's the way in which you interact with your staff, your entire company. So I grew up in an environment that allowed me to express myself, and I really felt that it was very, very important to do so. And as a consequence of that, I've created a culture there in the office which is inclusive. So that's number one. And number two is that I, like so many others, are just a respectful person. And so I respect everybody from when they come into the office. I respect them for who they are and what they want to contribute. And we've actually turned that into a principle, which is very, very important to us. So this is one of our very, very important principles in the office, is that we want people to feel equally as engaged in their own careers as they are in delivering our service together. And that's a very, very important precept. So we have a number of ways in which we actually carry that out. So we have managers in the office. The bulk of our staff in the office are managers that draw buildings. We also have an associate level, which are the future leaders of the office. We have an executive team. Those are the leaders in the office. And then, of course, myself and Paul are principals. And there is a path forward for every level. So when you come in as a manager, you come into a tiered system. We have 3 levels of managers, and there is a clear path forward when you start about how you can advance. And that becomes an ambition and an aspiration for each of those managers. Likewise, with managers, when they grow to a certain level, they can get registered. Architects have to be registered and licensed, just as doctors and attorneys do. We have the same kind of path forward, and it's possible for managers, even if you're not educated through a 5-year program as an architect, you can still get registered in the state. And that's a very important path that we're promoting with our staff. We have an online program that allows them to take their registration tutorials and videos for training and practice tests and whatnot to actually take those registration tests. And we have a number of people who are involved and are attempting to go through that path to get registered. When you get registered in the office, then you can become an associate. That means you're a future leader of the company. So that's very, very important. We have a staff member who is the perfect example of all of that. She is our shining light for our standards and the development of these precepts in the office. And she not only started as a manager in the office, her first job in architecture, but her original degree was in interiors. And so slowly over time, she became so adept at being a manager that she came to us and said, I'd love to start doing interiors, and we cleared the path for her and made that possible. And we're very excited about the fact that she's now started an interiors department with us, and that's the perfect example of giving people a path towards advancement, and so they feel deeply engaged in not only the work that they're doing, but also their own personal careers. I think that ultimately the ability for the company to capitalize on these values and principles is, I think, our greatest achievement. So the stability that will come from the company by following these precepts, I think, is what I value the most, the stability.